Hello, folks. Today, the topic that we are going to discuss is in continuation of our previous topic, that is finding squares, right? In the previous topic, what we've discussed was finding, squares of numbers in and around 100, okay? Today, we will discuss two topics. First, what we'll do is we will try to find squares of numbers in and around 50 through shortcut procedures, right? So it goes like this: 50 plus or minus x whole square. And for this, we will take the example of, say, 52 square, 55 square, 57 square, 59 square, and on the lesser side of 50, we'll take examples like 48 square, 45 square, 44 square, 42 square. Okay, now in the second part, what we'll do is we will also try to find a square of numbers which are in and around 10. Okay, of course, the squares of numbers which are lesser than 10. It's quite simple. So what we will do is, in the second topic, we will discuss the squares of numbers which are more than 10. Okay, so in this, what we'll do is we'll take the example of, say, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, etc. Okay, now in the last part, what we will do is we will summarize what we've learned so far. The last part will be summary and some takeaways, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to discuss today. Okay, now so let's get started from the first topic. Okay, that is to find squares of numbers in and around 50. Okay, so what we'll do is, first let's take the example of say 53 square. Okay, so the first thing that you should keep in mind is squares of numbers in and around 50 will always be a 4-digit number. Okay, so keep this in mind the way we have done it before. Okay, this is going to be a 4-digit number. And another thing that you should keep in mind is whenever you are trying to find squares of numbers around 50, the thing that you should keep in mind is 25. Okay, you should always keep in mind 25. Why 25 and all, why we are using this, the logic and all, we will discuss it in a separate class. So let's not mix up. Okay, so the first thing that you should do is keep 25 in your mind. So to make it simple and to represent it in a much better way, I've just written the number 25. So what we will do is 53 is more than 50 by 3. Okay, what we'll do is we will add 3 to this 25. Okay, now if you add 3 to 25, it becomes 28, and straight away you put this number 28 in the first two digits, that is a thousands place and the hundreds place. Okay, now the last two digits, that is your tens place and units place, is going to be contributed by the square of number which is in excess of 50. Okay, 53 is more than 50 by 3. Okay, so what we'll do is we will take the square of this 3, right? 3 square is 9. As it is a single digit number, we're going to put it as 09. Okay, here goes your answers. I think you guys are with me, right? So to explain it, I've taken it a little more time. When you do it straight way from your mind, you can just write it in a fraction of a second, right? Okay, fine. To make it much more clearer, let's take another example. Say 56 square, right? 56 square is a 4-digit number. Okay, so the first thing that we'll do is we will keep 25 in our mind. Now what we'll do is we will add 6 to 25, as 6 is more than 25. 25 plus 6 is 31. Okay, now the last two digits, as I said, it's going to be 6 square. So what is 6 square? 6 square is 36, right? This is the answer. Now, let's take another example, 58 square, right? So 58 is more than 50 by 8, right? So what we'll do is, we will add 8 to 25. If you add 8 to 25, it becomes 33, right? So straight away put it as 33. And now 8 square is 64, okay? Now, let's do another example, okay? Now let's take the example of 59 square. So 59 is more than 25, but no, 59 is more than 50 by 9, right? So what we'll do is, we will add 9 to 25. So what is 9 plus 25? 9 plus 25 is 34, right? So what we'll do is, the first two digits, that's your thousands and your hundreds place, we'll write 34. And then the number, that is in excess of 50, right? This number is more than 50 by 9. So 9 square is 81. So here goes your answer in just a fraction of a minute, right? So these are for the numbers which are more than 50, okay? Now let's go to the numbers which are less than 50, okay? So let's take the example of 48 square, right? It's the same thing, the first thing that you should keep in mind is 25, okay? 48 is less than 50 by 2, right? So what we'll do is, we will subtract 2 from 25. The number, which we were discussing, in excess of 50, what we were doing was, we were adding the excess number to 25. Since the number is less than 50, what we'll do is, we will subtract whatever number is less than 50 from 25, right? If you subtract 2 from 25, it becomes 23, okay? Now, the lesser number, right? So, 48 is less than 50 by 2, right? So what we'll do is, we will square this 2, okay? 2 square is 0.4. I think this is your result, right? So let's take another example, right? 47 square. So 47 square, this will be, this 47 is less than 50 by 3. So what we'll do is, we will subtract 3 from 25, okay? If you subtract 3 from 25, the answer is 22. And the last two digits, we're going to write it as 3 square. As 3 square is 9, but you have to make it as 2-digit number, so we will put it straight away as 09. I think you guys are with me, right? If there's any problem, you should write it in the comment section so that I can explain it in my next class again. Now let's take another example of say 43 square, okay? Now 43 square, 43 is less than 50 by 7. So what we'll do is, we will subtract 7 from 25, right? If you subtract 7 from 25, I think the answer is 18. So write the first two digits, we'll write this 18, and 7 square, I think 7 square is 49. And this is how, this is how you do it. I think if you do this by, calculating or writing it on the piece of paper, this will take much more time. So this logic, I think this will give you the answer in a very less time. So let's take one more example. So like, you take it as 42 square, right? Now 42 square is, how do you find it? This is less than 50 by 8, right? So if you subtract 8 from 25, what's the answer? It's 17, right? So what I'll do is, I'll write 17 here and 8 square, right? This 8 square. So 8 square is 16. I think this is your result, right? So I think it's quite clear, we can also do, numbers, which are lesser than 40, but, there will be an overlapping portion, which I will discuss it later, okay? I think you guys have got more or less, the procedure of how to find squares of numbers which are more than 50, like 54, 55, 56, up to around say 59. And in the second part, I have discussed it for numbers which are less than 50, okay? Now I think the first topic, I think it's over here. Let's go to the second topic, right? The second topic, what we'll do is we will try to find out squares of number which are more than 10, right? So first what we'll do is we will find the square of numbers, say for example 12 square, right? Now the first thing that you should keep in mind is numbers which are more than 10 and less than say around say 25, 40, first thing that you should keep in mind is the answer is going to be a 3-digit number. Okay, so what we'll do is the same logic that we've discussed for numbers, finding the squares of numbers which are in and around 100, but here the only difference is there will be an overlap, and let's do it, right? So this number 12 is more than 10 by 2. So what we'll do is we will add another 2 to the same number, right? So that makes 12 plus 2 is 14, right? So what we'll do is we will first write 4 here, 14, right? Now the last digit, it's going to be as the number which you will find it by getting square. So 2 square is 4, right? So you write it straight away as 4. There's no problem with this because 2 square is just a single digit, so we are able to write it as a single number as 4. Okay, now let's take the example of say 14 square. Okay, so as I said 14 square is going to be a 3-digit number. Since the number 4 is more than 10, what we'll do is we will add another 4 to this same number. If you add 4 to the same number, it becomes 18, right? Now to fill up the last digit, what we'll do is we will find out the square of 4, right? 4 square is 16, but you only have one place to fill. So what you'll do is we will add 6 here, and below this 8 we will write that 1, right? So this is called overlapping, right? So what we'll do is we will add this two number 8 and 1. So if you add 8 and 1, it becomes 9. So your answer is 196. Okay, I think you guys got it. So let's discuss one more example to make it more clearer, right? So let's take the example of 17 square, right? So 17 is more than 10 by 7, so you add another 7 to 17. So if you add another 7 to 17, 17 plus 7, what do you get? You get it as 24, right? And 7 square is 49. So what you'll do is you will write 9 here, and below this 4 you will write another 4, right? You add this up, it becomes 289, right? This way, so let's do one more example to make it clear. Okay, so let's take the example of 19. Okay, 19 square, it's going to be a 3-digit number. Okay, so 19 square, 19 is more than 10 by 9, so you add another 9. So if you add one more 9, 19 plus 9 is 28, and 9 square is 81. Since I said it's a 2-digit number, there will be an overlap, so you put 1 here, you put 8 here. Okay, so what you do is you add this 2 up, so your result is 361. So 19 square is 361, right? I hope you guys got it more or less. I think with this, we will close it down, and I hope you guys got it. So what we have discussed so far, even including my previous video, we are able to find the squares of numbers which are in and around 10 and which in and around 50. And in my previous topic, we discussed about finding the squares of number in and around 100, right? Okay, these are the 3 topics I've discussed so far, and when you put this together, I think you would be able to find the squares of numbers starting from 1 to 125 in just a fraction of a second, right? So my previous two classes, my previous class and today's class, I think I've covered more or less, the ways of finding, squares of number in a very shortcut method, right? And with this, you would be able to find squares of numbers from 1 to 125. You don't even need to by heart anything, okay? So with this, we will close down today's topic. I hope you guys are able to understand, what I've explained it to you. In the next class, what we'll do is we will discuss another topic, which is completely different from this. We will not discuss, topics related to finding squares. We will discuss something else, okay? So I hope we will do up to this much for today's class. Hope everything is clear to you, and in case there is any doubt and if you need any clarifications, just write it down in my comment sections, right? Feel free to do so, and I will try to explain it, with better clarity, and I'll try to make it much simpler, than this, and hope you would be able to, understand, the little knowledge that I give you, right? And as I said, there's a logic behind this, right? Whatever we are able to do, we are able to find a shortcut method. There's always a, concept behind this, right? So this concept also, we will discuss it in another class. Hope I will try to upload a video later on. So let's close it down today with this much. I hope you guys will like my video. Okay, so signing off for the day. This is me, SK Singh here. Bye guys.